Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Bug Tempo. This is the traditional blue-black tempo that everybody knows and loves. We've got the Bowmasters, we've got the Tamios, we've got the Wastelands, we've got the Dazes, but we also have Witherbloom Command, a very powerful card that can do a lot of things, including remove flipped Tamios, remove opposing Bowmasters, and potentially return a land or even a wasteland to our hand, drain our opponent if we're close to killing them. And we have Rakshasa's Bargain, which is better than Stock Up in most ways. It's instant speed. It puts some cards in your graveyard, and it is, in my humble opinion, better than the Stock Up that a lot of people are playing right now. But it does require a green splash. It doesn't require green, but it costs 4 mana if you don't have green mana. So we have a Trop in the deck, and we also have a Hedge Maze. And we're playing 19 lands with 4 Wastelands, but we also have a 20th land in the sideboard, along with a Carpet of Flowers for Tempo Mirrors, where Wastelands are less important. We can swap out one of our Wastelands and get a Carpet as well. So the rest of the deck is pretty standard fare. You get Tamio on the table and you protect her, you flip her, you go to town. You get Bowmaster on the table, you make your opponent's life misery. You go to town, you Thoughtseize them, you daze them, you force them, you otherwise disrupt them until you win. And you basically just try to close the game quickly. But if you can't close quickly, you still have Kaito as kind of an end game card. You still have this Bargain I mentioned. You've still got your 2 Mercs. The sideboard is anti-combo and 4 Force Negations, anti-lands type strategies, or 12 posts. This is pretty good against Beanstalk, Harbinger, because you can lock your opponent out of being able to do stuff. We just take out the Witherblooms, we bring in the Harbingers. We have 3 Hydroblasts for Moonstompy matchups. We've got a Dismember, which is also very good against Moonstompy because it can deal with Magus of the Moon. And then we've got 2 Nile Spellbombs and a Grafdigger's Cage, which help us close out games against graveyard strategies after we've initially disrupted them. So should be a fun, hopefully quick league where we're just putting the screws on and turning them. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against an opponent who is likely on some form of Reanimator deck. This doesn't have a force. This doesn't have any graveyard disruption. It's a perfectly fine hand with a broad range of interaction. I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to try to get something better than this. If we just get turn 1 with, the Dark Ritual, Entomb, Doomsday, or Dark Ritual, Entomb, Reanimate, that's okay. We'll live. I think this is a Thoughtseize. That was a great rip. See what our opponent's up to. We were playing 19 lands. We could, I always think about the possibility of getting wasted out. Let's see what they get here. Entomb. Okay, so this is what I feared. Now, if they have 2 reanimate effects, we're just dead. Unfortunately, there's the Atraxa. They don't have 2 reanimate effects, so I'll take the reanimate, and we have to work through 2 Orcish Bowmasters. We do have a Bowmaster of our own, and we just have to hope they don't rip one of their many, many reanimate effects. So the Scalding Tarn's out. We have more ways of dealing with Orcish Bowmasters than a typical deck. It is blue-black. Okay, that's great. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and... I could push it and then ponder. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push, and then I'm going to ponder. And then this way, we can kill the next one, and we can have the last Merc. He who laughs last. This force is pretty actually important. Baleful Strix is only good if we can maintain Bowmaster Supremacy, but it is quite good. This land is awesome. I think I'm going to put the Strix on the bottom. Then I'm going to take the force now, just in case, if for the rest of the game, we essentially just have to stop them from reanimating. And we have to kill them. And I think we might be able to do that with Kaito. Come on, you want to put that Bowmaster in and get some extra damage. Don't you want to get some extra damage? Yeah, we did it. All right. And then what we can do is we get Bowmaster Supremacy, and then we get Kaito out. And we can have a pretty big Merc too that'll be hard for them to deal with. They put a Wasteland in their yard. Okay, that's good to see. We can get a Surveil land here. If we do it now, if we go ahead and Bowmaster now, we reduce the risk of them drawing a Force blue card. And we also shut off their cantrips. They can't time their cantrips around us. I'm going to do it. We will not be able to force on their, if they have a follow-up Bowmaster, I don't think. I think we have to just try to Murktide then, if that's what happens. Very much looking forward to surveilling and getting green here. We'll take 2. Don't Kaito me. I need to Kaito you. Barrow. We can just stun this. Oh, but we... I'm seriously tempted to just force this. And then next turn, just Kaito. Yeah, I'm gonna go for this. Okay. Now I'm gonna go get my... I'll waste one of these lands. I think we're still totally cooked if they can find a reanimate effect. That goes in the yard. Fatal Push, not terrible. I'll use it next turn. I'm going to go ahead and attack and Kaito before I do anything. I am going to get my Orc Army back. And then I can just minus... Oh, I'll plus... Yeah, we had to get through that the Bear Whiff. That's why we did what we did. Do I think wasting them is going to be consequential, or is it better to be able to push this so we don't lose loyalty on Kaito? I'm going to go ahead and do this first. Well, yeah, I want to make sure this resolves. Okay, and now we'll just Kaito. I mean, that may seem like I'm overthinking it, but... Okay, and now we can go ahead and surveil. We're not going to be able to find a force, unfortunately. We can put these cards in the bin. These are not good at this point. These feed a future Merc if we find another... Okay, there's a force card, so we just need a blue, and then we'll just basically just sit here and not do anything for the rest of the game and just hope to beat them down. This is great. Like, this does triple trigger, but, you know, Atraxa would be an ordeal. We can stun Atraxa. Okay, scoop. All right. Blue-black tempo. Postman. All right, so we're going to bring in these. This is not a deck that I've, sideboard mapped because I don't expect to run into the blue variant. I think that's it. We bring these 3 in. I think we take out the Wastelands. They're just not very good here. We could bring in a Carpet just so we have more mana because they are, they were playing basics there. Are there any cards that are completely dead against them? Taking the Wastelands, Daze is definitely a candidate, especially on the draw. If we take these out, keep some of these wastes in, keep this swamp in. Yeah, I just don't think this is not the right Daze matchup. And Daze is kind of a weak card right now, unfortunately. Thoughtseize is good though. Strix could be good. I mean, it could trade with an Atraxa that has resolved. It can definitely trade. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep all these cards in. And I think in that previous game, my opponent was very aggressive with their Bowmasters, and they didn't necessarily need to be. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. We can go get a basic island. I just like the fact that we have Force to prevent Entomb from working. Barrowgoyf is super scary. I guess Barrowgoyf is the main card that they've replaced Troll with. Barrowgoyf is one of those cards that, it's in their graveyard. Okay, every reanimate is scary now. Okay, so options. We could just surveil end step. That gets us closer to a land. Yeah, I'll do that. That way I hold this up in case they attempt to... so they can't daze my Force. They probably only run 3 Wastelands. That's still enough to be scary. The pitch for Force is probably Kaito at this point just because we're so far from using him. Okay, we stopped the Entomb. That's good. I am going to surveil just to maximize looks at land. And then next turn I can ponder. Cage. So we find a land off this ponder and then we cast Cage. Shuffle this. Wasteland is now very strong against us. We're in the breach. Don't have it. Don't have it. Don't you dare. Oh, shuck. Shot through the heart. Okay, well, we brought that upon ourselves trying to surveil. Okay. I am going to go ahead and Cage here. And if they force, I'll force back. Okay, cool. Now we shut off, probably at least 6 cards in our deck. We can get the Spellbomb out next turn. We have a lot of mana. We are definitely dazed. We can definitely be dazed here, but this has to be stopped. Tamio, bye-bye. Okay, cool. They're at 4 cards. All right. I'm going to go ahead and play this out. Redundancy. Doesn't hurt. Now they're really never going to be able to use their graveyard. Because they could borrow one of these back, but they can't deal with both of them in the same turn cycle, most likely. They might have engineered explosives. All they need to do is slam another Barrowgoyf and the game's probably over. Yeah, he was probably greedy to grab the Hedge Maze there. I probably just could have grabbed the island with the sheer volume of cantrips and stuff in my hand. We're just chilling. Okay, Bowmasters coming out. That makes... Oh, it is a Kluck. Do they have Kaito? Right, I presume there's a Bowmaster in their hand, so I'm not going to use this yet. What I'll probably do is instep, I'll just borrow the Orc Army token if they deploy it. Wow, another one? Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but I should probably bounce that just to reduce the amount of damage I take. I didn't want to brainstorm there. I could have for sure. I think I am going to go and just do this just to buy some time. It's worth noting that we have to remember that this is in their hand. I hope they interact. They don't. Okay. So a Bowmaster could definitely be good there. Hopefully they just play it back out because I do want to eventually cast this Murktide and it'll be big enough that it can stand up with that. Stand up to that. All right. There we go. Okay. So options. 1, we just chill. 2, we can't Murk yet because they have a Brazen Borrower in their hand. So I think what I want to do is this turn I want to probably fetch and push. If they play it out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to brainstorm just to get closer to the next land. Okay, I'm going to brainstorm here. Thoughtseize definitely goes back. I think Borrower probably goes back too. Okay, and now we have a land for next turn. I'm going to go ahead and just do this now. I'm going to fetch and Fatal Push this. Next turn I get the Swamp if they waste this one. But that does mean that I can't Murk. Okay, now they have that out. Yeah, Wasteland would be annoying, but I've still got a pretty big Murk. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No! That's unfortunate. So we're losing our Murk. Oh no, they have the Wasteland too. I mean, we could draw another Murk, but Bowmaster would be pretty good. I suspect they may have their own Bowmaster, and they're just being hyper vigilant because of what happened last game. They should waste here unless they have something really spectacular. Okay. All right. I think we've already seen two of their 3 or 4 Wastelands. I'm not going to be deterred. I am going to go ahead and play this out in combat. Then they can Bowmaster it. They've already seen this land. Yeah, I'll play that out. We're not quite yet to the point where I nuke their graveyard to draw a card, but I'm going to go get a Trop here. And I'll just be okay with being wasted out of off of green for the rest of the game if they have another waste. I don't want to take more hits. I think this is almost certainly not going to resolve. What are they doing? Brainstorming? So it doesn't resolve. Okay. So this turn we're going to fetch. We're going to use now Spellbomb. I actually don't know what we could draw. We need the black source. We need the black card here to be able to poke that. Okay, Murk does actually do a lot here. Let's go ahead and Murk first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make him full size. Or not full size, but near full size. Blue, blue. If they just have a force, that's the game. Pretty good. If they have Bowmaster, that's also probably game. Because they'll have... they can ping and then attack for 3. Okay, yeah, this game. We can't rip anything off the top. Off of that. We stopped their A plan, but their B plan was strong enough, and probably punted that one by not fetching the island. When we did keep a shaky keep, but we wanted to stop their combo plan, and we did succeed in doing that. I want to give myself credit for stopping their combo plan, even if we did. So there's definitely a temptation to take out the daisies or take out some of the forces and bring back in days to slow their aggression and not pitch so many cards from my hand. And if we're doing that, maybe we bring back in a Wasteland. That brings us up to 19 lands plus the carpet, which I think is pretty good. Cards that are less good here. I mean, Strix seems like it's kind of a liability against Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm going to take it out just because I can just imagine a situation where we don't have Bowmaster supremacy and we draw. So they do have basics, but we can, potentially you get them down to two lands and then you start dazing their 2 drops. This hand seems very strong. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to go ahead and get a Swamp, and then I'm just going to deploy a Spellbomb. We can play on basics, so let's play on basics. In under days. All right, they're fetching. This is fine. We already got the important card out. Probably take Tomio. If they have a Murk or something they're working up toward, or not Murk, probably Barragoyf. I think Murk is infinitely better than Barragoyf. I know I've said that a million times, but I'll keep saying it. Correct draw. I think we go ahead and ponder under Bowmaster. We could bait out the Bowmaster and then kill it. They do know we have the Fatal Push. I think I'm just going to go ahead and ponder now. And I'll just get the island. Our deck is a pretty big mana deck. Like, we can go big. I want this Bowmaster for sure. I don't want this Underground Sea. I'll take the fetch. So I will do it like that, and I'll draw the Bowmaster. We can use it. We're just going to try to Bowmaster the heck out of them. We are at an advantage. They have at least 8 to 12 cards in the deck. Don't really do a lot here. That's fine. Now they can't push that for the rest of the game. Like, they can't brainstorm for the rest of the game. Or they give us the card. That's fine. Once we get the double Bowmasters out, like, cracking clues is going to be pretty painful. I'm just going to wait until they crack the clue, and then I'll Bowmaster them. We also have 2 Brazen Borrowers in our deck that are pretty good. In terms of, like, bouncing that back to our hand and getting value. They're coming in for the hug. This is a dangerous game because they are slowly pulling ahead in terms of cards. And they may be very disciplined about cracking them. I'm going to go get the Surveil. I know I don't want the Underground Sea on top of my deck. I don't want that. Another Fatal Push, not bad. I'm just going to pass. And when they crack, I will Bowmaster. And if they Bowmaster back, like, I'm going to Fatal Push their Bowmaster. And then I'm going to eventually be the person with the last Bowmaster. Brazen Borrower on this would be terrifying, by the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. All right, ping. They may push here. They do push. Oh my goodness. You get dazed. I'm going to be patient. Yeah, I got my token. This enables Kaito if we draw him. Let's just be patient. Wasteland. They can take us off green. They are pulling ahead in cards. Okay. They've destroyed our green source. We have 1 left in the deck. Come in for a hug. I'm so tempted to deploy my own Tamio, but I am worried that puts... Well, we're going to do this. Do I want to keep the Fatal Push up? I think I want to deploy the Tamio here. So sure, you get the ping. But you still take 2 damage, and I still have my Orc Army. Oh, actually, they can go to block. Yeah, no, I needed to do it that way. I'm going to play on my Tamio. All right. I fully expect my creatures to get killed somehow. I can block Tommy just in case they're playing Kaito. I can't imagine they're playing Kaito. There's a Barragoyf. That is very pushable. We just need to make sure we have Revolt. I don't know that it's worth turning on their reanimation effects. No, wait, I can just crack the clue and then push. But I need an extra land in case they have days. If this ever connects, the game's practically over. They can get back a Bowmaster. Oh, Scoob. I'm gonna stun it. Yeah, I'm just going to stun it. Go blue, black. Uncounterable. Ninjutsu effect. Take some damage. Then I'm going to stun your dude. Next turn, we can start attacking for more. They've got a lot of clues. It's painful to crack them. We need to plus this. Opting to attack. Okay. I have to hope that there's a Brainstorm in their deck that we've still shut off. I mean, we've shut it off more than one way. That's fine. Brainstorm. Yeah, give me a Tamio, please. They're desperate. This little Nile Spellbomb is... I totally forgot that wasn't mine. Laugh my effing ass AO. I'll say it out loud just in case you got kids around. Okay. And I do make a point not to curse on the channel, just for people that are like watching, just kicking it with their kids around on the couch. You can trust that I'm not going to use any weird innuendos or say anything that like is going to get kids in trouble at school. I've got young kids myself. Okay. So here we go. Let's go ahead and start with this. I'm going to play this. I think it's better to Surveil here than it is to plus, but we are going to do 4 damage. What are we even looking for here? I'm worried that like we Fatal Push. I have a clue I can crack too. There is the risk that they have a Bowmaster. I could kill the Bowmaster, but I can't kill everything. I'm going to go ahead and plus. Actually, they can't kill it because Tamio plussed. What I do need to be careful about on the timing of my clue. Let's just pass. Tons of interaction up. Clue crack with... Okay, there's the clue. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and crack my clue. Crack the clue. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we still have Fatal Push if we need it. Next turn we can just stun and attack in again. Entomb is fine. They put Atraxa in there. They could have Reanimate and Oh man, so sad to lose to Rakshasa at this point. Drop it a 5. They can't reanimate, but they could, do the Brazen Borrow and then, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think they have a path out because I can just plus and attack for lethal here, and I have double Fatal Push. I'll just let them take one of the Fatal Pushes as they like. Now, that's just game. Because that's fine. It's just thoughts using themselves for style. All right, we didn't get to cast any of our green spells, but the game felt great. See you in round 2. All right, we're up against one of the best players on all of MTGO, Arkan. And Arkan is probably playing some tempo deck, which means we can't keep our 1-land hand. Let's see. Grixis tempo, yeah. Like, they always play tempo, almost always. I'm not going to chance it. This is a great hand against, they mulliganed already. I mean, they could assume we're on a control deck. Yeah, I feel like a fool. Totally humiliated if I kept a hand like that. This hand is better. We can put back the redundant Tamio. They're mulling too, so they may keep like a land light hand and we may be able to waste and then do the Underground Sea the subsequent turn. Planar Nexus. Well, we should have kept the other hand. All right, this key. Yeah, it's going to resolve. I'm going to be wasting that. I can't take the risk of them just dumping something really powerful into play. Arkan kind of knows that, I'm sure. Oh, yeah! All right. So, what do we do when we get an opponent like this? We start going to Clue Town. Next turn, I can Brainstorm Flipper. We just have to hope Arkan whiffs on lands. They found the best land, but actually it's a disappearing land, so it's not really the best in this circumstance. It's so good, it's restricted in Vintage. How many lands are restricted in Vintage? I think the answer is like 3, maybe 2. Let's come in. I am going to go ahead and flip. I think Tamio Ultimate is a realistic end state for this game. Oh no! Well, Thoughtseize is good. Don't want these stinky Fatal Pushes. I'll redraw 1. Bowmasters might not be terrible if we find another land. We can go ahead and daze with impunity here because, well, we're going to attempt to ponder next turn. Oh, Power Plant. They're actually playing like actual factual Tron. Disruptor Flute. I'm going to daze that because they're just going to name Tamio here. And I do want to be able to ultimate her. Okay. Still not feeling great. But we're not going to have to deal with constructs at least. I think the correct thing to do is to plus and to Thoughtseize. But we are going to draw another Fatal Push if we do that. Okay, so we could find a Wasteland. We could find a Force. I think it's better than Thoughtseizing, knowing that we're going to draw a bad card. And we definitely want to find a land. Okay, there's a Force and a Daze. I think we keep this and we try to go all the way with Tommy. Yeah, and I'll take the Force now. Yeah, just in case they have some really big play. I would be really disappointed if I got greedy and kept the Daze. Oh no, they could get Needle. Do they have Needle? I doubt they have Needle. Probably Mox of some sort or another. They do have Needle. Okay, well, we do have an answer for this in our deck, but we're going to have to dig. Okay, Monolith. That is a lot of mana. Oh, I should have freaking forced that. What was I thinking? That was so dumb. Yeah, now they have tons of mana. I guess I'll force their first payload spell. Yeah, that is going to get forced. Pitch Redundant Tommy. Borrower is pretty flexible in this. But yeah, that was just such a dumb punt. Like, if I stop that, like I stop a lot of their mana. I can Thoughtseize them here, but they can just rip new good stuff off the top. We're just sitting around waiting now that they had the Needle. Okay, so K Command is not as scary as One Ringing next turn. So I will leave them with the K Command, I guess. Yeah, I mean, they untap. Yeah, they do have a little bit of mana for a K Command. It's not huge. They're probably not going to respect Daze here. We probably will be able to Daze this just to, keep them off doing stuff for a little bit. The value of Daze is going to be dropping pretty precipitously. And I believe our top card is also a dud. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's not a land. Okay, so they're opting to make mana and scry, so we're definitely going to want to stop that. Yeah, I didn't know anybody played Pithing Needle main deck anymore. I mean, Fatal Push, yeah, is a dud. That's the one that we kept. We wanted to shuffle it away, but the force was too alluring. Okay. They have a lot of mana. They have a big K command here. They have the One Ring. They drew another one. Okay, so we have to get Bowmasters out stat. I think we're going to lose this. Even though we got so lucky at the beginning, they're still going to win. Because I didn't force the freaking monolith. Like, it all comes down to that. Like, they would have access to 2 mana instead of, like, 6 or whatever they have now. Okay. I'm just going to pass, and I do think this is where we Bowmaster, and we hope that we can do enough damage. Because at least we're restricting their draws here. They use 2 of their 4 K commands. So we ping them, and we start building a giant army. If they can find another One Ring, they may even just reuse the One Ring, but they could K command. That's the only removal they have in their deck, and they've already gone through 2 of it in their top 15 cards. I seriously doubt they have other removal. So freaking tilting. My goodness. Bye-bye. I'm not going to keep playing this game. I screwed up. It's my fault, but it's really tilting that they had the third one. Because wait, I thought we countered it. Did I miscount? I thought we countered one, and then they did the other. No, they cast a One Ring. I got confused. Oh my goodness. Sorry for my excellent friends. That's bad play. Because they One Ringed. I was like, okay, here comes the K command. Oh no, they drew a One Ring. So I had forgotten that they actually had the K command in the deck, in the hand. So that was totally a punt on my part. So what do we do here? Well, we bring in our Force Negations for sure. We're not playing Consign because it's a terrible card that you only play when you're absolutely desperate to have game against Eldrazi. We bring in Harbinger. I guess we bring in a Swamp. And I mean, I don't want to take out these Witherblooms but they are pretty bad when you have a Harbinger. Strix does almost nothing. Daze is terrible in this matchup. I'm taking that out. Even on the play, it's bad. Oh, we take out the 4 Fatal Pushes. They do have some cards in there that we have to worry about, but like that, we can cut. I'll cut a Trop. They're not going to go after our land, but we're going to go after our land. And then if we're cutting this, I guess we could bring a Daze back in. It doesn't feel good. Yeah, I think this is how we roll. Yeah, that was just an abomination of, gameplay decisions on my part. I think it was a good keep. This is a solid keep. Let's see if I can not screw this up. So we get the Hedge Maze right out of the gate. Our opponent will be like, oh, they're rolling to 6. Yeah, Bowmasters is really good against One Ring when you time it correctly. All right, so what are we looking for? Thoughtseize. We're looking for more forces. We're looking for Harbinger. Sideboard cards in general. Harbinger. Yes. Next turn we can't get Swamp. We're just going to take ourselves off black completely. I think that's fine. Depending on what they have. We can Bowmaster next turn, and then we can take ourselves off. I'm going to let that go. Planar Nexus. Okay. That's 4 mana. One Ring will get forced. I think we do force this. My reasoning is they can still generate a lot of mana, even under Harbinger. Pitch this Brainstorm. This is fine. I'm surprised this card's still in their deck. If they name Misty Rainforest, I'm going to be very sad. Wasteland, okay. Ping. And we will have successfully reduced their mana pretty significantly here. And I do get the Swamp because I drew the right fetch land. That's the Swamp. Harbinger. Let's attack. All right, and now we just beat them. Beat their face. Hope that they do not find enough mana for 3 mana K command. They have 3 mana. Trinisphere? Yeah, sure. I don't mind. All right, so we do have the ability to force negate something this turn, which is great. Go ahead and play this out. We're 2 turns away from Merc, but yeah, this has to be stopped, even though it would accelerate their own demise. Now we can Merc just to close the game a little bit faster. I don't think that... Is there a risk? Yeah, I'm gonna trust that if they do have the card, the K command, they won't also have the mana because they're down to 1 card, and then even if they do, they're done on board at this point. So if they have another One Ring, yeah, and we can't interact because of Trinisphere, so they do get a protection trigger. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot my army here. It's gonna be hard for them to dig out of this without access to. I'm gonna go ahead and play this out, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Just chill. No point in attacking. They have 9 life, 8 life. It's fine. They can do it again if they'd like. I'm not going to stop them. So I will daze anything they do here. Because I was thinking like any mana we can deny them reduces the likelihood of them being able to survive. Okay, so I think the dazes come out again. It's just not a good card. This is a bad card, but it's not as bad as Daze. Daze is so terrible against them. Especially now that we know they're playing Trinisphere. I'll probably bring this land back in just to reduce the likelihood of like having a mulligan. I know it's kind of lame, but like I really think Daze sucks. It is a blue card to pitch to force, but that is like we could take out the Witherbloom, but it does blow up key and recur our wastelands. I know it's dead under Harbinger, but like either like it's just like good deck building. We're probably going to run into this where we draw this when we have it out, but I think they're not going to go after our lands. Yeah, I don't want to be bouncing stuff back to my hand. Their deck produces so much mana. Yeah, this is a keep. Pressure. So we can Surveil here, or we can emergency brainstorm for a force if they have Nexus in a One Ring. They have Nexus. Basalt Monolith. That's going to resolve. Karn. How devastating is Karn? Let's see. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They're pretty close actually to just Karning us out of the game. I think it's worth going ahead and brainstorming just to see if we can find the force here. Okay, we didn't find it. So we have too much land. I'm going to put back some of this. So we'll draw land. Bowmasters can lower the loyalty, but if they really want to lattice us, they probably can next turn. That might make sense. They can start blowing up lands as well. But with Bowmasters coming in, we are going to be able to take Karn. It's just that a lot of other bad things are going to happen in the meantime. Yeah, liquid metal coating. Okay. At this point, I do think it just makes sense to wait until they've committed to like doing one of my lands. They almost certainly know that we have. There's the liquid metal coating. So we have to go ahead and use this, or else they'll needle it. I'm stunned that needle's in their deck. I just doesn't seem like a good card here. Let's go ahead and get this, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the world's most telegraphed Bowmaster. We will start hitting Karn. Next turn, I can kill Karn, which will be a relief, but it will not be enough because they have tons of mana. Name Wasteland. Don't have One Ring. I mean, if they have One Ring, it's okay because I'm going to kill Karn, and that's the most pressing thing, but it's still pretty catastrophic. They K command here. That means I can't kill Karn, and I'm going to lose another land. Okay. Yeah, and that's really bad for me, actually, because these things protect Karn while he continues to blow up my lands. Right, options. We could put a Murktide in the sky. It's not big enough. Go ahead and swing a Karn and put another Bowmasters into play. I seriously doubt they'll let this through. Okay, now we have the option of not Bowmastering, but I'm pretty sure they can just go get the Mycosynth Lattice. Yeah, no days or anything to do here. That is unfortunate. Monolith, okay, they have so much mana, it's crazy. And their things are going to be huge. Getting through this, yeah, they're untapping this in response. An Underground Sea again, I think is probably the safest thing to do. If we find a land through some miracle, we can drop a pretty big Murktide next turn. Well, no, it won't be big. It'll be tiny, teeny tiny, because we haven't cast anything this game. Okay. Ping there. Okay, so they have lots of blockers here. I think we really do have to ponder for a land here because we're about to lose a land. Then we might be able to Thoughtseize them. If we find a Fatal Push, we can actually kill Karn. No, we need... Oh, I should have brainstormed instead of pondering just in case. That is a land, but again, we're gonna lose it. I mean, there's a good chance Thoughtseize does because they had so much mana last turn. So we attack for 3. They just... I mean, I need this land. Yeah, brainstorm would have gotten there, and then we could have pondered to shuffle the bad cards away. I could put a Tomio out, but it accomplishes nothing. I think Thoughtseize is probably actually better. He just chumps here. 1 loyalty's lost. Yeah, no, I think the correct thing is to go ahead and brainstorm, and then to brainstorm again. Just to maximize looks at lands. They don't have the key yet, but they can probably go get one if they want. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm here. Okay, Yeah, we don't want this ever. I don't think this is going to be good. I will keep the Force Negation. So this turn, we are going to be able to kill Karn, which stops the nightmare of losing our lands, but we have already lost 3 lands to him. No, actually, we're not going to be able to kill Karn because they're going to be able to put a construct out. I have to let that go. We'll hope to brainstorm into... I think we know what we're drawing here. We'll draw 1 fresh card. We're so dead, even after we clear Karn, but they are Hellbent. That's the only thing that gives me hope. Also, okay, they're just creating it now. That's fine. Just being like F6 value. They can go make a sandwich or whatever. All right, so unfortunately, I think we do have to brainstorm now to try to find a land and a Fatal Push. Okay, we did find the land. That's good. Doesn't matter whether it's basic or not. I'm going to put these 2 cards back because I don't think they're going to be relevant to the game, sadly. I do think that Witherbloom is such a good card in this matchup, but it's just too late. Keep carning us every turn. Yeah, I'm just going to concede because they're going to blow up our land and, well, I'll play it out, I guess. But we're going to have 1 land after all is said and done. They're Hellbent. They have they're going to have 2 constructs. They're going to go get something else. Good games. Yeah, that was brutal. Absolutely brutal. See you in round 3. All right, round 3. We're 1-1 after losing to frequent trophy leader Archon. I think our opponent is... I mean, they do sometimes play... How long ago was this? This was like 2 years ago, basically. Yeah, I mean, they could be on anything, but I don't want to keep a hand that has this many 3-drops. This seems so much better. My goodness. Okay, we can put back that bargain for later. That is a great top deck. It's not a great opener. They mulled a 5. That's not a good sign. Worth noting my first hand did not have a force in it either. So we may need to YOLO brainstorm here. Our opponent's name is Darth Noogies. If you're unfamiliar with the term Noogie, it's basically like where you grab somebody's head and then you like grind your knuckles into their scalp and like rub their hair really quick. It generates a lot of static electricity. It hurts a great deal. And it is something that like an evil kind of Darth Sith Lord would do to somebody. Esper Sentinel. Yeah, I love it. I am so happy that you played that Esper Sentinel. I'm going to get my poke on here. Let's hedge maze here. Don't need more lands. I could come to regret that if they waste land for my black source. Could they be playing a Daze or something? I think it makes sense to just get this out of the way. Yeah, because if they are on blue-white and they like draw a Daze, I'll feel like a dum-dum. Because you do have to answer that, but it's just like the reason nobody plays this card is because of Bowmasters. Second Plains. We can start coming in for hugs. That is a pretty insane draw. Attack with all creatures. I'm going to bring my Bowmaster back to hand because I think there's probably more work that can be done by Bowmaster later, and I don't think my opponent's going to be cantripping. Black. Colorless. Kaito here. Let's bring it back to hand. Let's surveil. Land. And a Daze. I think we take the Daze and we take the land too. So we've got free interaction. If they try to like Skyclave him. Yeah, I mean like Kaito was probably the best draw possible. If they initiative me or something, I'm going to Daze that so fast. Yeah. Monarch. Nothing. Let's bounce this. I mean, technically we just take the thing, and even if they had the Monarch, we'd beat the heck out of them. I don't think it's too big of a deal, but like I'll take my days where I can against the Ancient Tomb deck. Might as well play the land they already know about. Do I want to scale up? I want to draw cards. And I'm not gonna try to push damage here. I'm just gonna play carefully. I don't really care about, well, I mean that's like an extra look at a force. I think we bin this. Yeah, we have plenty of things to do with our mana. We don't need to sift around our deck a lot. If they attempt to do that again, I'll let it resolve. Their avatar just completely disappeared and changed. Did they go and change their avatar? That was weird. They're changing it again. Why is their avatar pulsing like that? Okay, Dungeoneer. That is fine. I could have brainstormed to try to get rid of that, but I'm just going to stun it. And then I'm going to take the initiative, and then I'm going to win. I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and put Bowmaster in, just for an additional body to try to steal the initiative. Are they dead? You just stun and attack, that's 7. Yeah, if they have a plow, that would keep them alive. Well, Witherbloom definitely does them in. All right, I'm going to stun. Just attack for 6, and then we'll Witherbloom. We get a bunch of triggers. Okay. Okay, I'll just go get it. All right, actually, I don't have a swamp in my deck. Okay, and now I'll just go green, black. I guess I could also just kill them with the Bowmasters. That probably gives less information. All right, clean kill against mono white initiative. Dismember definitely comes in. Swamp comes in as a second thing that we can find. I think that's it. Cards that come out, days. They're a Stompy deck. We're on the draw. I think that's it. They could have cards that like disrupt our mana, like what's it called, Archon of Emeria, and that we want to be able to days. Or I'm sorry, that we want to be able to fetch basics so it doesn't ETB 10. I think this is a good matchup. Kaito is awesome. Rakshasa is probably going to be very costly to cast. Witherbloom will probably have targets. Hand is cracked. Love the Force Blue card. Love the Bowmaster. Love the land. Shocking that in. This does make it a little awkward if we have to force something next turn. I do think it's worth just ensuring that we clear this. Yeah, we can waste like an Ancient Tomb or something. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this out. And then this way I can pay for like force if I need to. I can just pay the mana. There's Tomb. This is actually a problem for us. I know it sounds crazy, but it gives power to this and it makes it more expensive. I'm going to force this. It freaking wouldn't let me fetch. I didn't hold priority and it got passed. So I can't. That's so frustrating. So frustrating. Okay, well, they get a free card. And that's probably very bad for us. Yeah, I thought about it after I put the card on the stack. I'm like, it's not going to let me fetch, is it? Yeah. Just a note, like whenever... yeah, there are lots of situations that come up like that. I'm just going to chill. We're going to draw. Okay, so I think we waste a White Source, waste the Ancient Tomb, and wait a turn. I don't know. Maybe we just go ahead and start just slamming these. I mean, part of me, like I'm so tilted that it's just kind of like, yeah, let's go to game 3, but we'll see what happens here. I'm just going to let that hit me. I don't think there's any downside to it. It's 1 damage. Now I'm going to go ahead and ping instep. I'm going to make sure to get non-basics out of my deck, just so we're black here. Grab another land. I'm going to waste our White Source. Am I? I think I may just keep pressing. I'll just get another one of these. If we waste the White Source, we probably lock them out for a lot of stuff. We can just waste them over and over while we beat them. I think that's fine. Okay, they have white. They go to combat. They do have a plow for that. That doesn't matter. It already did its job of 2-for-1ing. Next turn, I'll waste them again. I'll probably go ahead and Bowmaster first and then waste them. Okay, 4 mana, but it's not white. All right, I think this is a great time to just go ahead and Bowmaster again. Now if they have a wasteland, they'll aim it at my wasteland. I should have probably just played out, I don't know. I mean, I'm preserving my colors. We're doing a lot of damage to them, that's for sure. Solitude, love to see it. Love to see it. All right, we could still lose. Hopefully they don't have a plains. Hopefully, yeah, Caracas, that's going to get wasted. This Archon is, Anointed Peacekeeper is annoying. We can't actually stop it because they name Wasteland and we just can't. It's like 3 mana, I think, to activate. So they are going to be able to keep a White Source out for a few turns, and they have a good blocker / attacker here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hedge maze into Tamio, and that way they have to choose whether they want to tap for white each turn or bounce my Tamio. I started to think of how far ahead we would be if I just... Yeah, I guess I'm not going to play a Tamio now that I have a force. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to leave that on. Yeah, and we'll just chill. We're going to take 3 each turn. Not attacking it anymore. Oh, I should have freaking wasted that. Let's do it during combat. Because they're probably going to attack and then cast something after combat, but they won't have white. Oh, never mind. What was I thinking? Of course, they're stopping that. Okay, so yeah, you can go to combat. I'm a fool. Okay. Next turn, I can actually waste it, though. They have no selection in their deck. I think it's totally worth it. Let's go get another Underground Sea, I guess. Do it this way. That was costly. Oh, wait, was it only 2 mana? I thought it was 3 mana. So did I unnecessarily... Yeah, I could have just brainstormed there. Okay, we'll go to post-combat, and I think I do want to get Tamio out just because I'm going to go and play Tamio out just so I can start getting clues. I still have force up. I can, I don't have anything to kill this right now. If I brainstorm, I do buy a few turns where they have to think about whether they want to attack Tamio here. 3 Ancient Tombs. Holy cow, so good. So good. Kaito, you're the man. You're the man now, dog. All right. So ridiculously strong here. And now we stun. And then we don't even have to worry about him hitting me back. I've got force up. I just plus and I attack twice and the game's over. Man, I was really worried about the game after like screwing up the Copper Vanguard or whatever that card was. I don't think they can win from here. We'll see. So, okay, Sage of the Skies. When you cast a spell, if you cast another copy. So they haven't cast another spell, so it's just a flying live linker. Okay. I think there's a decent chance that they just have to bargain is pretty sick. Let's go ahead and plus here. And then I'm just going to come in for a hug. Do you want to take 4? And shut off, your use of most of your mana for the rest of the game. They choose to do that. Okay, interesting. Well, I could draw a land, like a Wasteland. I'm going to do... No, Wasteland is locked off right now. This does not have any abilities. Gravity is just a suggestion. This is human. Oh, so this is a humans deck. I think all the creatures are humans. That kills them. Wait, does it not kill them? So they're still alive? I thought that would have killed them because weren't they at 2? How did they gain life? Oh, it's lifelink. Oh, never mind. I'm not paying attention. Sorry, my excellent friends. We just need like a fatal push to clear this out of the way. Witherbloom command also kills them. So great. I'll just take 2 Witherblooms, I guess. Click that. Click this. I almost clicked the ones I didn't want. Okay. That would have been bad. All right. Now we just kill them with direct damage. I think these already come up twice in this league. Like just killing people with Witherbloom. That would do it too, but I'm going to get style on them. We can always dismember if we need to. All right. Good games. Okay. So we're 2-1. Yeah. Losing to Archon in a frustrating match, but these other two felt pretty good. All right. This is a great hand. Nothing wrong with the hand. Our opponent's only history was playing Necrodominance. There is a risk that, like being on the play, we don't know whether they're going to mulligan. This hand's fine though. I'm going to keep it and we'll just see what happens. I will keep a Brainstorm and I can maybe, get lucky and Brainstorm into a force. If they try to glass cannon us, we don't have like the strongest game 1 against combo anyway, but we have exceptional post board because we bring in lots of graveyard disruption. We bring in lots of force negations. All right. Floodestream. The least intimidating blue fetch. Island. Plunder. Wow. Okay, great. I'm so glad that we're like playing a matchup like this. This is a lot more fun. And I can surveil and then I can just get my Bowmaster on deck probably. And then we'll have all our colors. I mean, they could be on tempo, but I think they're probably on Necrodominant or what's it called? Sneak and show and tell. I'm going to keep this. All right, we're going to try to tempo them. Next turn, we can Witherbloom to get a land back if we need to make a land drop. Double island. They're definitely on that. I'm going to go ahead and it's fine if they want to brainstorm in response, but I want to get this down so I can start. Time is not on our side. And if they force here, I'm totally chill with that. Okay, or disregarding it. Okay, so we have our land. The simple thing to do is to brainstorm and see what that gets a card in the yard for later. I want to find a force. These would be insane. All right, Thoughtseize it is. We'll put back this with this and this. We'll redraw it, but we won't draw that wasteland. That wasteland. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to. So our only insulation is the days. Okay, and yes, I was correct. So they do have the combo. If you take the show and tell, then they don't have much of a combo. Yeah, I'm cool with them taking a few turns to stock up. I'm just going to take the show and tell. They've only got 3 of these in their deck, and they have to cast it. And as I expected, no wastable lands there. They're just passing. Stock up as a sorcery. I'm stunned they're not using it. I guess they really don't want to get dazed. Okay, so let's think about this. I think Merc might actually be viable here. Turbo them with Merc and Bowmasters and cut off the number of turns they have because they're being patient with the stock up. They did ponder. It's possible they drew another one and they're just being very patient there. One option I have is just to drain them for 2. That'll fill up my yard. Then I Merc. I think that's fine. I'm going to do that. Green. I don't want to draw this wasteland next turn. Okay, and we can return just a fetch, I guess. I mean, it is possible that wasteland could be relevant, but I think it's less likely. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got quite a clock. They are 2 turns from death. With the Bowmaster, let's see, how does that change things? So 7, we attack for 9. Yeah, they're very dead next turn. Is that true? So we Bowmaster, and they take an additional 2 damage. Yeah, they'll be at 1. Okay, now they'll be dead. What could this get? I think we daze this just because there is some risk that they're going to get some card that does like bounce all our creatures or something. They can stock up. That's fine. They could have Lorien revealed here, but they opted not. So now they are kind of crimped on mana. Omnitell would put in a Orcish Bowmasters. They'd have to win without drawing cards. Probably. No, yeah, Omnitell, they get the Omniscience and they can start stocking up. Did they find it? Okay, we win. I'm pretty sure we win here. And this is like the thing about Murktide. Nethergoyf would have also put a bunch of pressure on. Let's see how many we just had instant sorcery land. Yeah, Nethergoyf might have also gotten there. I like Murktide just because it's harder to get rid of. And then we can play Grafdigger's Cage in the sideboard, which is the best anti-graveyard card. Okay, they got the land. So they are dead on board and if they force it, then dead anyway. Brazen Borrower's fine. It's like a totally legit find here. Let's go like this. Boom, boom. Let's go ahead and make them have it. Have that 1 mana interaction spell that saves your life. Lethal. Right. Getting game 1 is definitely good. Because they have basics, like our Wastelands do almost nothing against them. I think Wasteland is a natural thing to take out. Maybe 2 of them. Carpet of Flowers help accelerate a little bit, but what are we accelerating to? Force negations in your board. Daze is not nothing. Fatal Push is nothing. I think I will bring in a Wasteland. I think it's more useful than a Swamp. I don't expect them to like have back to basics or anything like that. Oh, wait, actually, they could have Harbinger. Nah, it seems so unlikely that yeah, Wasteland. Like it's unlikely that it's going to hit a land, but like they're probably not playing just like 100% islands. There's probably some land that we could potentially hit in there, like an Ottawa or something. It's 18 total lands plus carpet, 19 land sources. The main thing is the negations. They are very good. And that Thoughtseize was very good, obviously. Thoughtseize is very good against these types of decks. So these decks are basically designed to farm blue decks. That's what they do. This is a snap keep. Yeah, it doesn't have a force effect, but the Thoughtseize plus the Witherbloom or plus the Bowmasters, we're going to fill up our yard. Okay, if they have a turn 1, there's just nothing we can do here. I think Brian Cook from the Epic Storm was saying that he doesn't like Lotus Petal in this deck. He thinks it's not good enough. Okay, well, I think the right thing to do is if they find their thing, we're dead. Preordain reduces the likelihood of them finding their thing. Emrakul means they need to find 2 things. I think we take the Emrakul just because it represents instant death for us. Cutting Wish. The Ancient Tomb. Oh, yeah, Wasteland for Ancient Tomb. That's pretty. So leave a comment with a timestamp if you have a strong feeling one way or the other. But I don't feel threatened by Cutting Wish. I know it can get a lot of random things that are good, but it's kind of like I've got Omniscience out now. I can cast. Preordain can sift. I don't like them having something to put in. I'm going to get rid of the Emrakul. Okay, and now they need to find an Emrakul on top of everything else they're going to find. I'm going to immediately waste that Ancient Tomb. Is that true? I may not waste the Ancient Tomb. They have tons of mana. I'll wait a turn cycle. Because next turn what I can do is I get the Bowmaster down. Borrower is pretty good. Like it can come up in certain situations. I think I just chill here. Witherbloom's good because I can blow up one of these petals if they haven't used it. Okay, interesting. They're opting not to put it in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and Bowmaster here. And they do have Hardcast Force mana if they want to use their petals that way. This is a good card against them. Like it starts off as a very tiny clock, but it does crimp them. Options. Probably just ponder and see if we find another Bowmaster. Maybe Brainstorm. I'd love to shuffle some of this away. I don't think Witherbloom's particularly strong here. Like taking out a petal doesn't... That's nutty. Insane. Holy cow. Now we ponder, we shuffle this. We have double force up. I just don't see how they can catch up. Force negation. So we have triple force up if they go for it next turn. But we have to draw these bad cards. I think that's okay. They may play out a wastable land. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I want triple force up. And now we just get some cracks in. We can Merc at some point. This is why you play lots of force negation, folks. Like, not only does it increase your blue count, but it also freaking pitches to force. Show and tell. Let's try to counter that. I'm going to pitch this. I'll pitch a borrower. I'll pitch a borrower. Okay, we stopped it. It's not even in a zone where they can get it back with like a Mystic Sanctuary or anything. So that feels great. All right. Now we draw a Wasteland. I think we just go ahead. We could just crank up the clock with a Merc. But I'm totally fine with just settling in, wasting this, reducing their mana a little bit in case they have like some hardcast card that they can do, and just taking my time here. We have double force up and Witherbloom next turn. We have it around Spell Pierce, which is a card a lot of these decks play is, protection spell. I don't see any green. Witherbloom can. I think we let that happen. This is just like a turn. Like basically they use their entire turn to and they're going to have to spend the mana to do something next turn. We can drain 2 life. Is that better than just hitting one of the petals? Probably. Black, green, Witherbloom. Target player mills, and I'll get my waste back, and I'll take life. This cuts a turn off the clock. Wasteland it is. We will draw it. We will play it. Now we have Hardcast Force next turn. I'm not going to use Wasteland. Obviously, there's nothing to use it on, so this will just... What? Oh, man, it freaking lagged. I right-clicked. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. It lagged. I clicked Attack All. I always click Attack All instead of individually clicking them. So, yeah, that was dumb. Like, we just lost. Punter's fine. That feeds the Bowmaster. But we lost a turn. They're like a turn's worth of damage, unfortunately. It may not matter. We do have double force hand. They did stock up, though. So, okay, no land. Okay, Island Cycle. Sure. They got the Sanctuary. There is a stock up in the yard, but because of the force negation, there is no... that's fine. Time is running out over there. I guess I actually, when it enters... I don't think that I get a window to like waste there and stop the actual trigger, but I will probably just waste them. Well, okay, now I don't waste them because I've got 3 forces. We're just going to chill, and for the rest of the turn, we're not going to cast any spell except to respond to their spells. I feel confident that's the line. They've got 2 turns left. I'm trying to imagine what they could find that would be able to fight through all this hate we have. I'll let it happen. Okay. They have tons of mana. Hardcast Omniscience is 10, I think. Obviously, they're not even close to Emrakul mana. I like to think that they have cantrips in hand that they're not casting. They're going for something. Okay. So let's go ahead and counter this. Negate. So I'm going to let that resolve. Then I'm going to force again. I will pitch Tamiyo because there is a world in which I need Murktide to close the game. If they have enough. Okay. So there we go. All right, we'll come in for 3. Trying to think. Yeah, pondering into a Thoughtseize would be good. So that's what this world I'm going to try to live in here. Kaito would have just actually won, but we wouldn't have had the mana. I'm going to shuffle this. We could still get lucky and get a Thoughtseize. Okay, another force. I'm not going to complain. I am going to go ahead and waste this land. I don't think it will matter, but like that would be like stock up into Show and Tell. If they have Cunning Wish, they could potentially wipe away the token and get an extra turn. I think we just let that happen, though. I don't know that we force Cunning Wish just because they have so much mana. This is like a big weakness of Omnitell is that it is extremely mana intensive. And when your opponent like just lets your spells resolve and you're like using your mana every turn, like, and then they counter the critical card instead, you spend a bunch of mana. Yeah, that's fine. We're nearly to the point where we can just Bowmaster kill them. I seriously doubt they can make it through the entire game on 1 life. Just because, okay, Brainstorm, that's going to kill you. Sure. Do you have like an instant speed thing you're going to do here? I think maybe they forgot about Bowmaster's ability. So we're 3-1. This deck is, this felt amazing. We haven't cast a single, wait, did we cast Bargain? We may have. I promise Bargain is going to be relevant. We're playing 2 of them, and we did get the Witherbloom going. That wasn't bad. The real question you have to be asking is the splash worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? That is what I want you to be asking yourself when you watch round 5. Final round, we're up against an opponent who plays a lot of Ruby Storm and stuff like that. I'm going to mulligan this hand. It's just not great. It's like way too much mana, and we don't have any lands. Unfortunately, we're going to do the same with this. I'm not going to keep this hand. Again, there is sometimes merit to keeping hands without colored mana sources, but I just don't like to play non-games. And I'm pretty proud of the fact that like it's rare that I play a true non-game where I just get wasted out of the game because I'm very cowardly in that regard. Let's mulligan again. They kept. Okay, this is the best of the hands we've seen so far. We have the combo. I'm going to put away Fatal Push because if you look at the history, none of these are creature-centric decks. Some people just don't like creatures. I love creatures. My favorite part of Magic. But I started playing back in Ice Age. So, back in the Ice Age. Hey. So, I think there's a decent chance that Rakshasa Bargain's the worst card in this hand just because it's slow. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then we have a lot of bases covered, like their Moonstompy. Well, we don't really have a long-term answer for Moonstompy main deck, but we can at least draw cards. Actually, yeah, can we beat Moonstompy main deck? I don't think we can. Okay, yep, they're on a combo. Don't class cannon me, bro! Okay, Cabal Therapy, is that what that is? Cabal Ritual. Another one, okay. So we're going to lose. Necro, okay. So this is where we wait and see if they hit their fail rate. That does sometimes happen on an F6, and we're just going to see what happens. They done screwed up, and they're in cleanup step. This is very good for us, friends. Yeah, I mean, they can draw some more. They're at 1 life. Wow. They didn't do a single thing with any of that. What the heck is going on over there? Just like no mana? We'll see in a second when they discard. Actually, it'll be exiled. I think it's like Necropotence, like it gets exiled. All right. So let's talk game plan. I mean, it may seem comical. Like they've got a 5-card hand. They can never draw another card for the rest of the game, basically. But I don't know. There might be some way that they can pull. I've never seen somebody actually go to clean up and discard without conceding. They had like a Dark Ritual and then like some sort of menacing creature, like a Barrowgoyf that we can't race or something. I'm not sure what they would play. I mean, this deck, I don't want to trash their deck. I'm going to shut up. All right, I just did something kind of mean. I'd forgotten to say good luck, have fun. I make a point to always say that no matter what. And like probably like half of people respond. You too. F. Like F in chat for, yeah. I hope that doesn't come across as overly mean or anything like that, but I was just thinking like, okay, so they can never draw another card. We just need to find a Bowmasters and we win. So I'm going to go see if I can find Force. Just gives us some insulation. I'm going to shuffle this. Bowmaster just wins it. Okay, Daze is great. I'm not going to complain about that. If we just have to beat whatever 5 cards they have left. They may not realize that they're not going to draw a card for the rest of the game. Okay, there's a Vault. Dark Ritual, I can't stop that. Do they have like Shieldred or something? That would be something scary that I would have to actually like really work to beat. They could Tendrils Beseech. That should be game. They could have a Spirit Guide. I'm trying to think of what they would get. They should have beseeched this away, by the way, so that they packed. Okay. What are they going to get? I'm going to be so humiliated if I lose to this. What the heck are you going to get? You have 1 life. You have 1 card to draw for the rest of the game. Face down card enter the exile zone. Necrodominance enters the exile zone. Okay. Oh, was that the bargain? What happened? Why did that go away? And also, how did this get in there? Oh, they're going for like some sort of chain with Beseech. I don't think they can get there. That's not lethal. But that does give them some life so they can start drawing again. Okay, they scoop. All right. That was scary for a second. I was like, what are they doing? But you just have to sit down and like let them do it, basically. Okay, so Force Negation comes in for sure. That's the only thing we're going to do here. The game's too short to really do anything else. Everything else stays in. Let's talk about cards that don't matter because the game's not going to go long enough. Witherbloom Command probably doesn't matter. Fatal Push definitely doesn't matter. I'm going to take these out. I don't have to take any lands out. I don't really have to do much of anything. I could bring in the Harbingers just because they can screw my opponent off color if the game goes long. I think that might be better than Witherbloom, but we can drain them. That's another out if they whiff. Again, I'm not expecting that to happen. What will we take out? Like almost everything in our deck is blue already. Like Bowmasters doesn't actually do anything against their deck. It would have killed them in that very specific situation. I think it's actually better than Witherbloom though. So I'm going to take Witherbloom out. And then since we're doing this, maybe we do bring in the Swamp just in case we... I mean, like, it seems ridiculous that this is even going to come up, but yeah, like a swamp is better than a wasteland in that very specific. Actually, it's probably just take out Hedge Maze. The game's going to be too compressed. We don't want to draw it. Yeah, I think I do that. And then I still have my waste. Oh, I'll just take out the wasteland. All right, I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. Let's go. Final round. I want a 4-1. I 4-1 last league. I want a 4-1 this league. Is that too much to ask? Am I too entitled? I'm going to keep this. I wouldn't normally keep a hand like this, but like they're mulliganing for it. I don't think they have much of a game plan if they don't win. Roll to 5. So we have 2 forms of interaction. We have, I think, 19 lands in our deck. So we will eventually draw a land and 4 cards. 3 cards. Okay. So I think we've won. All right. I'll say it. Friends don't let friends play Necrodominance. GG's. Yeah. We had the double force hand too. So, and that is just why you play the 4 forces in the sideboard. I know everybody's so resistant to it, but really just play 4 force negations in the sideboard. It was absolutely insane throughout that entire league. Like both of those combo matchups toward the end, it was just cracked. So that was a 4-1. We never cast a bargain, which I'm really, sad about. I don't think we did. Baleful Strix. Yeah. I mean, he does turn on Kaito, but like this card is so slow. And if they have a freaking Bowmaster out, it's the worst draw. Like I was playing it just because I was like, well, like is 8 creatures really enough to be able to reliably use Kaito? Murktide was great. I'm not going to take out Murktide. I think what we probably do, Thoughtseize was insane the entire league. I wouldn't mind going up to 4 Thoughtseize. I know that that's not standard. You could, I don't think you necessarily go up to 3 Murktide, but it is great just to like fill up your yard a lot. The deck felt fine. I think we probably would have had similar results if we were just playing straight blue-black Kaito. And if you take these out and then you put in some other card, but like Witherbloom is good. And if we play a lot of leagues with this, Rakshas's Bargo will come up. And I think stock up is just not what you're looking for outside of an Ancient Tomb deck, frankly. I totally understand why some people are playing stock up, but it just seems so clunky. I'm going to tap out completely just for a cantrip. No, I'm going to do this at the end step, and I'm going to get cards in my graveyard, which are useful. I'm not just going to be putting them on the bottom of my deck or whatever and just getting the best 2. I'm really getting the best 4. And if you're doing this, then it's kind of like, okay, well, why not also play, Uro is really good with Rakshasa's Bargain. I say her. I don't know if Rakshasa is a male or a female. Let's take a look at wow, this is crazy. Google's actually giving me a freaking actual result above their AI slop. Okay. Oh, it's fantasy name generator. Okay. So it just generates a bunch of random names. Where's the actual name? List of. Okay. There are famous people named Rakshasa. Anthropomorphic spirits in Indian mythology. Okay. Cool. So this is actually like based on like an Indian god. Rakshasa is, okay. So Rakshasa is the male version. Rakshasa is the female. Let it be known that you learned random stuff from watching Be Excellent. We're not just playing Magic. We're learning about other world cultures. Okay. So, okay, and we can see this is like the actual Rakshasa as depicted in Yakshagana, an art form of the Uttar Kannada, which is in I think Uttara means north. Yeah, because like Uttar Pradesh, yeah, north. Okay, like the video, subscribe. Okay, so let's go. We can read about this stuff, but like this isn't what you're here for. Rakshasa, if you're interested, read the article. I'm not going to act like I'm an anti-intellectual person who has zero interest in it, but I'm not going to waste your time with it because you probably don't. And I have near zero interest, frankly. Like I don't play Magic for the lore. I play it for, the insane blowout lines where I brainstorm and I find like 3 Force of Wills. That was incredible, right? Okay, so Baleful Strix, perfectly cromulent card. I don't like it in this deck, and I don't like it with the sheer abundance of Bowmasters. I think we cut it. We could just play a single Nethergoyf. That seems weird, playing a single Nethergoyf, but I do think Nethergoyf is perfectly cromulent, and I do think it comes down like more like so. Nethergoyf. And then you might be asking like, well, why not just like go more into, the thing about Nethergoyf is it's just like an early beat that's really easy to recast. If you slurp him back up with Kaito, and just 1 black man, he comes right back down. And sometimes he can put initial pressure on the opponent. He's a good blocker, and late game he comes back. and you don't like, there's diminishing value in putting more Tamios in your deck. Like a lot of my decks only have one Tamio because like drawing the second Tamio is like the diminishing marginal value. Like it falls off pretty quickly, but I do like, in this deck because you're applying something in. The other thing you could do instead of playing that, is you could just max the days, and you're pretty much quickly getting back to what I was playing before I started. But I think Murktide is way better than Nethergoyf right now. Like 100%. You should be playing Murktide over Nethergoyf. The main thing is just like, how do you justify having 2 Kaito in your deck when you only have 8 creatures to turn? And I don't really know the answer to that. I will tell you that like usually you're going to have a Tamio out. I think Nethergoyf's fine. I genuinely, as much as I love Bowmaster, I don't think it's playable outside of Espervile, which is a deck that I hope to play again on the channel. Nobody ever watches it. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but like whenever I publish. Okay, let's take a look at my YouTube real quick. I'm going to do a little fun thing since you're still here because you haven't clicked away. Thank you for watching. If you're bored and you see some really appealing thing in the margins or something, have a beautiful day. Be excellent and party on. But let's go ahead and take a look at my YouTube, and I'll just give you kind of like a quick overview of the kinds of videos that have been doing well, and that combined with comments gives me insight into what I should do. All right, so we can see that like Dark Bant Beans did very well here. This is like maybe my most popular video ever, one of them. And then Bant, significantly less interest in Bant. Uro, like whenever you put Uro on there, people are like, yay, Uro. This Bant Walkers did pretty well. I think it's just because I'd never done anything like this. Showcase Bant, like I was very proud of my performance in the showcase. I think I came in, wait, is this the one where I got 9th place? No, this is a different one. No, I did the showcase challenge. I did a different one with a similar. And then Esper Kaito does pretty well. Kaito, people like Kaito. Espervile, less than 1,000 views, right? People got sick of Nadu, is my impression. This is a legacy quality. This is a really good one if you have time to watch it. I did pretty well. I got 9th out of like 285 people. And then Bantblade, like I think people just don't like Nadu, and when people click in and they start watching, they're like, "What is a Nadu deck?" Peace, because you can see like Bant Nadu. This is the same exact deck, but I like kind of like hid the fact that it was Nadu. I didn't have him there, but like the second people are like, "Ah, damn Nadu, screw Nadu." Okay, so Blue Black Tempo was doing well for a while, and then it kind of like started to, I guess, get samey. Kaito Control, similarly, it's. Like this was the deck I really loved playing before the bans is Blue Black Kaito with Mockingbird. I think Mockingbird's great, but you can't justify Mockingbird in this deck that we're playing. And then like the Spark, when Spark was brand new, people were really interested in it. I don't know if Spark is good enough. We can take a look at a few more. Delver did really well. Like people love watching Delver for some reason. I don't think it's very fun to play, frankly, but I will play it occasionally. It's good to stay in touch with the meta, but like Blue Black Tempo is so much more interesting in my mind. And frankly, it has so much more dynamic range. It can just take down like more mid-rangey decks, whereas Delver is really just, it's a little bit more limited. And then we go really far back and like this Delver Burn that did pretty well. People love this like Pulp Fiction line. And then Predict Delver did pretty well. And people watch some Stifle Knot. Like I think people maybe got kind of tired of watching Stifle Knot. This 8-Bolt Delver did very well. I loved playing 8-Bolt Delver. I don't think it's correct to do that now that Eldrazi's not in the meta. Let's see. Are there any other archetypes that I played? Like whenever I play Uro, usually people are excited about that. Bant Beans. Yeah, this is from a different era when like people are like, what, Beans? Now Beans is like 1/10 of the meta. Death Shadow. And then I just want to show you one video. This is one of the last times I got a trophy. It was like a year ago. It was like 5 or 6 months ago. So if you ever feel bad, like, damn, why don't I ever trophy? Like I've been trying so hard to trophy and I always just get wrecked by some Eldrazi player or some Oops All Spells player. Or I just, I guess we were one game away from trophying here. And then, but my point is it's hard. Don't beat yourself up about it. Let's see. Yeah, this is the Delver Burn. This was one of my most popular videos ever. I had like OnZD liking it and retweeted it, I think, and he said like Legacy's healing. And just like this is my best league ever though. If you ever want to watch it, just like a good video that's fun with 2 guys that really enjoy lifting weights. Me, not quite as much as my Spanish counterpart. he is a super chill dude, and he guided me through playing his Curie Nut deck. It was really chill. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just kind of going down memory lane, but Esper Control. So I think going back to the list, it's boring to put another Netherglyph in there. Netherglyph's not the most exciting card. Neither is Merc, which is why I don't generally play this deck. I like playing decks that are like a little more exciting than just putting a Merc into play. Like Uro is a very exciting card. I love drawing cards. I love putting lands into play. I love gaining life and digging myself out of a deficit and turning the corner. But there is some merit to just like, oh, okay, you don't have a removal spell and you're dead in 4 turns. I'm just going to go protect the queen, right? That's like a Delver strategy, and it works all the time. Like usually when I lose to Delver, it's because my opponent figured out a way that they could just beat me down and just neglect like long-term value. As my friend Tom Nelson says, Delver does have card advantage. You win the game and they still have 5 cards in their hand, and it's as though you drew 5 additional cards. So, but I love me some Witherbloom Command. I had fun casting it, even though there weren't actually that many Wasteland targets aside from fighting against Archon. There were plenty in that matchup, and we just didn't have the time. And then we started getting, having our lands blown up, which sucked and is traumatizing. And then Carpet came in a few times. I don't know that you need a Carpet. Like, first of all, if you're playing against, I think this is probably like the most sus card in the 75. We could take that out and we could bring in, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to bring in another Nile Spellbomb, but like there's just less Reanimator than there used to be. These were really good against the blue-black Reanimator that we played. I think that was round 1. And if so really I'd say there are at least 2 flex slots, this Netherglyph and then, whatever you want to put over here. You don't need 2 Brazen Borrowers. I don't know. Brazen Borrower did come up actually, and we did use it to try to survive in one of the games. Ultimately, I don't think we did. But it is a cool card that can, occasionally come in and disrupt. I love just playing Bowmaster. Bowmaster is really strong right now. It's really good against Beanstalk. It's really good against Omnitell. It's really good against, in the mirror. Basically, you just want Bowmaster supremacy. I would say a lot of the games we played today were because I was able to attain Bowmaster supremacy and ultimately Bowmaster superiority, where you're the only person with a Bowmaster on the table. And then, Tommy continued to generate a lot of value. She gets pushed. My opponent flipping my Tamio for me was super chill of them to do. I don't know. I think Netherglyph is an inclusion. If you don't have, this is the best other 1-drop other than Tamio right now. So this could be something else. You could get more techie with it, but I don't think you dream of this, ceiling case where you're attacking with your Baleful Strix is already drawing you a card, and then you're Kaitoing it back to your hand, and then you get to cast the card again and stuff like that. And that is a lot of mana. Netherglyph is a lot less mana. Netherglyph hits a lot harder. The fact that Baleful Strix has Death Touch doesn't even matter in most matchups. Like a lot of those matchups we played, there just weren't a lot of creatures involved. So yeah. I could just play straight blue-black and stray from Witherbloom and this, very fun card that I very much wish I could have cast. But I think I'll probably continue to experiment with it. I am a huge fan. Like I've been doing this for a long time, by the way, like 2 years. I've been jamming Witherbloom into blue-black tempo, and people don't expect it. And it's a value generating engine. Do you need a value generating engine though when you already have Tamio and Kaito? I don't know that you do. But all I know is it just feels really bad to put stock up into this type of deck. And that is all I'll say about that. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.